Guys, I'm gonna be honest for a second. I don't know what came over me. How dare I say a game is bad? Who am I to say a game is a waste of 10 minutes? How dare I say that something as perfect as this, as game changing, how dare I call it bad? It's pushing the envelope. It's defining LGBT inclusion in gaming. It's it's a masterpiece. Yeah, no. I apologize for the video's rude title, and I have changed it to better reflect my feelings without being considered rude. However, I will not apologize for my opinion. The game is still bad, and I explained why in the video. If you still take issue with someone having a different opinion, boy oh boy, my channel is not for you, and you probably should go outside. Anywho, it's your boy Delta, back for another video on an upcoming game called A Space for the Unbound. This is pretty good. The game starts out with a cute conversation between a princess and a cat. Just by looking at this, I already knew that I was in for a treat. As I watched these two characters interact, my excitement continued to grow. I chuckled to myself at the dialogue and gawked at the beautiful pixel art. The music here is perfect for setting the tone, and goddamn, every single issue I had with In Her Footsteps was fixed in the first 15 seconds. Even though I still had no idea where this game was going in regard to its gameplay, it was obvious that I would be exploring the dynamic between these two characters. When I gained control of my character, I once again found myself gawking at how beautiful this game looked. These guys over at Mojitek Studio know what they're doing when it comes to establishing feel. I don't have to spam my keyboard looking for an options menu or controls, because just by looking at the game, I could figure out what I was in for, and through that inference, I was able to guess that arrow keys and the Z key would be my best friend. Once I made my way outside of this little bunker, I found myself in front of this conspicuous sign, so I interacted with it. Boom! Hold 0 to run. A little odd, but okay. I spent about 15 seconds trying to get my character to run, but he just wouldn't. I was using the keyboard, but I had a gamepad plugged in. I thought, oh, it's probably a weird button mapping thing, since I'm using a Nintendo Switch Pro controller as a gamepad, so maybe it just doesn't know which button to display. After unplugging my controller, I rechecked the sign, and it still said, hold 0 to run. I was a bit confused, but then again, I tried holding both 0 keys on my keyboard, but my guy just wouldn't run. I wasn't sure what I was doing wrong. I was able to get him to run for a few seconds, but I wasn't able to do it again. I'm confusion. Why can't I run? Fuck it, I decided to just continue to progress. Walking isn't that big of a deal in a game this pretty. I picked up this little girl's magical red book and then proceeded to swan dive into her consciousness like something straight out of AI Somnium Files, which is a great game and is currently on sale on Steam at the time of this video's release, so if you're a day one watcher, there's no reason you shouldn't be playing it. Alright? Yeah. After a beautiful transition, I materialized in a dark abyss. The music was ominous as I made my way forward. Turns out, the intro cutscene was a story being written by the little girl, but she was too afraid to finish it due to some personal anxiety she was having. This struck a chord with me, and I'm sure that this will stir something in everyone who plays this, because I'm willing to bet money everyone has felt like this little girl at some point. It's relatable, and it makes you want to help her overcome this fear. I already found myself caring about this little girl, and I didn't even know her name. After a little bit of dialogue, we were tasked with finding a magic wand in the little girl's room. She asked us to go get it for her because her home situation isn't the safest for her at the moment. I set off into the city, petting every cat along the way, and as I followed the girl's pet Bosk down the road, I really started to fall in love with this game's aesthetic. This game is based on 90s Indonesia, which made me look up Indonesia, and goddamn, why don't we have more games set here? It's beautiful. It would provide an amazing break from everything taking place in Japan and America. As I followed the cat, I stopped to interact with some townsfolk to get a taste of this game's world building, and the NPC's dialogue is just enough to immerse you further. Once we make it to the little girl's house, we overhear a conversation between her mom and her neighbor. The little girl's name is Nirmala, and apparently she's been skipping school. We know that she's skipping class because of anxiety, but her mom is completely oblivious, and all her dad seems to care about is the money he had to borrow to get her into the school in the first place. I felt bad for Nirmala because her story resonates with me, and even if it didn't, it is portrayed in a way that any empathetic human would be able to understand her experience. The cutscene didn't last for too long. It gave me what I needed, a tiny bit of exposition as well as letting me know that, yeah, this is it, this is the house. I can't go through the front door, so I'd have to find a way to climb through Nirmala's open window. Is it nitpicky to be confused about how I, an adult, needed a ladder, but this 8-9-year-old girl is able to jump down and back and forth from the roof of her house with the... In order to get the ladder, we have to dive into another heart in order to solve this man's insomnia. Luckily, this puzzle wasn't very difficult, especially since I interacted with a few people before progressing, so I already had the mixtape needed to solve the puzzle. After finishing up, I was able to make the man fall asleep, and I snagged the ladder and made my way back to Nirmala's house. Once in a room, I snagged the magic wand, and I am introduced to her father through some dialogue through a door. It's really sad people like him exist in real life. That's all I'm going to say on this cutscene. I decided to swing my way back to the hangout spot to meet back up with Nirmala, but unfortunately shit takes a turn for the worse. Don't worry, Nirmala, I'm Nirmala crossed the river by herself, and I guess the bridge collapsed, causing her to fall in. We gotta save her, right? We gotta... Oh. Welp. This was fantastic. Everything. The story is lighthearted with some serious undertones. The music was simple and beautiful. The post-credit scenes left me with many questions. Was everything just a dream? What happened? Is Nirmala okay? When does this game come out? I need it. I'm very excited for this game's full release, and I have a lot of faith that MojiTek will be able to put out a fantastic product. This is what I'm looking for in a game's demo. Hey, just a little off script here. I just wanted to thank you if you made it to the end of the video. I'm new to YouTube, so the last few videos have been me playing around with different styles to kind of try and figure out what kind of content I want to release. If you liked the video, why not leave a like? And if you really liked it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you hated it, well, I'm sorry, drop a dislike, and I do pay attention, and I'm willing to accept any and all constructive criticism. Thank you again for the support, and I'll see you next time.